place where it rests the scooter. So I crawled to the scooter, which was very painful because it was parking lot stuff with pebbles.
Mm-hmm.
And by the time I got to the scooter, I couldn't, I was in such pain. I took my little portable cushion seat off the scooter, put it on the ground to kneel on, turned off the power to the scooter. Yay, Carol, should have done that to start with. Leaned over the scooter seat, was able to, with much ado, haul myself up onto the scooter seat.
Yeah, I still consider that a win that you
Get
were
my,
able to do that
get
on your
myself
own.
up on it,
That's great.
ride myself over to the kitten in the bag, pick up the kitten in the bag, drive to the car, lift the van, get the lift out, load the van, load the scooter. And I'm trying to call the county to tell them I am on my way, and they disconnect me twice.
Oh,
I get to the county finally. My GPS says you have arrived. I hadn't arrived. Then I had to keep going, and I finally arrive. And I really didn't have time to unload that doggone scooter and do all that, but I did because I couldn't walk. And I get in there and they tell me the vet has left. I said, please double check, because I said, I called you and you just kept disconnecting me. And I had an accident. I fell off the scooter. And anyway, somebody took pity on the poor elderly woman in this scooter. And they called over to wherever this vet was, and they actually looked and she was still there, thank God, because it saved me $95. I mean, it's not it's not a little bit of money.
cool.
And so,
Okay.
end of story. The cat got chipped. I got it all taken care of, and I got home in one piece, sort
Good.
of.
I'm happy about that.
But
Okay.
it was quite the event.
It sounds like
Probably captured on camera, because I'm sure
somebody's camera.
Northland Church is a big campus,
Yeah.
and I'm sure they have cameras in their parking lot. But I really got launched and dragged, and
Yikes, yikes. I'm
as it
sorry
was
that
happening,
happened.
I was just thinking, I can't believe I went so long without an incident, and I take this fall prevention class. And I have now had 3 incidences during this class.
What are the chances?
Yeah, like, what is going on here? It's like
Bonnie-in-law, how were your break weeks?
Fine. Yeah.
fun. Well, good.
I'm worried about you going alone though, with a scooter.
Going alone with the scooter.
Yeah, to somewhere where nobody can help you if you have another incident, you know?
I've been divorced since before I'm 22, and I'm 75, so I've gone it alone
I
my whole
think,
life.
yeah,
So I don't worry about it. And I always have my emergency button in my pocket. Even though my phone was on my scooter and out of my reach, my emergency button was in my pocket had I needed it.
Good.
I've paid for it for God knows how many years. I've never pressed the button intentionally to call for help,
yeah,
but
yeah.
it gives me great comfort to know that I have it. Mental comfort.
Yeah.
And I enjoy paying for it every month just to know that I have it.
Peace of mind is worth it.
Yep.
Aunt Law, how have your past couple weeks been?
Ah,
My picture isn't coming up. Is it on yours?
no,
No,
I wonder why.
I could ask you to start your
picture
video.
list.
Did it pop up now?
Nope.
There
Yeah,
we go. There we go. Okay.
there you go.
Well, it's just, the hurricanes just, everything's been about the hurricanes
Yeah.
the past few weeks, so. Evacuating and then coming back and being without power and, well, it's been rough.
Yeah.
Rougher for some, as you know, more so than others, but still not a fun place to be, so.
Did you have to evacuate your house because of damage or?
Well, we had mandatory evacuation
I
For
see.
Milton.
from the storm that was coming, yes.
Your whole, I don't know where you live, but.
Yeah,
your
the whole area. I'm in a zone C, which is supposed to be a good zone, but they evacuated us. There's
What
too
town do
many.
you live in?
Pinellas Park,
Oh, I see. Yeah,
yeah.
so yeah, that whole area.
So, and then the power was out for a long time, so we couldn't get back in, so.
Yeah. It was brutal.
Yeah,
I'm
Yeah,
happy to see you back.
That does
so
mess.
I'm not up to date on much of anything, to tell you the truth, so.
Yeah. Well, no worries there.
I agree, though. I want to reset the last couple weeks.
I'm for a reset.
Okay, good.
I'm for a reset. Oh my goodness.
All right, let's do it. Let's press the reset button.
Oh, golly.
Well, last week you didn't miss anything because we didn't meet at all.
Right.
And I was gonna text you guys to see how you're doing. I thought, let me just give them a full break and I'll just wait and see how you guys are doing Monday. The week before that, we did start to touch on so week 4 might be a good one for you to replay at some point.
Okay.
No hurry, but Monday we talked about exercise guidelines, bone density and stuff like that. And the different goals of what exercise do you do for heart health? What exercise do you do for, what is strength training? What is power training? What is stretching? Do we need to stretch? Stuff like that. And then Thursday we started with floor exercises, but we did them on the bed. And I think you guys mostly ended up watching, correct? Did I have you guys mostly watch?
Yeah.
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 So it was like observe, see what this is about, and then see if you feel safe to do any of these by yourself on your bed. And then if you did want to do floor work or become more confident with floor work, I would highly recommend working with a PT. And when you sign up, say, hey, I'm in this fall prevention course. And it just, I've just been made aware that I don't stand up too well and I want to get stronger for that because every once in a while I fall and want to be able to stand up more independently. So either a personal trainer either a physical therapist or a personal trainer, it doesn't have to be a PT. But this is one of those activities that doing this class alongside a PT could be good. So okay. Has anyone noticed? So I'm guessing the answer is no. One of my questions I was going to ask was, does anyone feel any difference in their balance or leg strength since starting the class? Or is it kind of hard to tell given the last mix up of the last few weeks?
Yeah, it's been hard for me because everything's been kind of topsy-turvy, back and forth. I've been off my regular routine, so.
Yeah.
And I'm weaker because of my
You're
incidences.
weaker. Okay. Bonnie, do you feel any change in balance or leg strength or about the same?
I think it's about the same. I'm not as worried about my balance as I was, but
That's good.
I have been walking most every day. And I still do my Tai Chi. That helps loosen me up because I get up in the morning and I have to move because I'm stiff,
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, I'm very blessed.
Cool. Okay. Now today we're going to start talking about, we're going to start working our way down that list of other fall risk factors that are external to us. So we're going to move out of, we've talked about our mindset, we've talked about our physical strength, our balance, all these different things about what we can control with our bodies. Now we're going to go into home safety today. We're also going to touch on ways that you can like conserve energy throughout the day that you might not be aware of. Some of those will seem way low level for you, like, you know, maybe that's coming down the line in a few years, and some of them might be like, oh, I had never thought of that, and some of them you might already do. We'll talk about equipment, so that could be not only walking sticks and canes and walkers and stuff like that, but any sort of adaptive equipment to make your life easier, and then medical alert systems. So just so that I can cater to the three of you that are here today, starting with home safety, does anyone have any pressing concerns about home safety, a specific room, a specific activity that's difficult that you've been trying to problem solve and just haven't gotten to?
I've been ordered by all my children not to get on a ladder, I can tell you that.
Okay,
Okay, when I need help, I have a good neighbor who changes my smoke detector batteries. And then my son-in-law usually comes and changes any ceiling lights, because I've got some high ceiling. So I do not get on a ladder. I know I can't do it. I'd be on the floor like, now.
so are there any problems in your house that you're trying to problem solve? Like, you're happy with those systems. Are there any systems that you're not happy with?
I have one,
Okay,
and I think I know the answer, and I don't like the answer. So I did have a life alert button like 4 years ago when I fell and broke my femur bone. But it didn't last. I didn't care for it, and I found it to be cumbersome. But what I do have now is my house is voice activated. I have a Echo Dot in every room, which is fine if I were to fall and I just need help, or I need an ambulance because I'm hurt. But if I got knocked out, if I hit my head and I'm not conscious, that's where the life alert is more helpful, because it would notify, the device notifies the company that you've fallen.
yeah. So,
But I feel safe. Other than that, I feel very safe in my house because of the fact that I can now just call out whatever room I'm in, and I've tried even whispering, and it hears it. So
and you can make a phone call from that.
yes.
Okay. So is that something that you want to talk about and problem solve? Is there a question that you're in there, or is it just like, you need automatic fall detection again and you don't want to get it?
Yeah, that's probably. I mean, I feel good, other than the fact that if I should fall and hit my head, that's the only thing I don't have covered. And that would be true in any room, even in the bathroom. If I should hit my head, but
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. All right. We will touch on that for sure, just for planning down the road and whenever you want to
Okay.
do that. Can I ask, is it just what's the barrier to wearing the wearable? Is it just annoying? Do you forget to wear it? Is it the cost of the service?
It's all of the above. The service is, I think it's $89 a month. That part of it didn't bother me as much as just wearing it. I mean, I don't wear jewelry even. I wear a watch, and that's a big deal sometimes. So having something like that, a device, whether it was something that The one I had, you wore it around your neck, and that was definitely not gonna work long term. So
Okay.
I'd have to look at a different type of a device, and it may be that a watch type, a wrist type.
That's what I was already thinking, where
Yeah,
you're already
that
wearing
might
a
be the
watch.
answer. Yeah,
You're already wearing a watch, so it's not something extra.
yeah,
And also, as we'll get into, just keeping in mind, I'm so glad that you have a plan, and I harp on every patient, every student of this class, like, you must have a fall prevention plan for what are you going to do if you fall in your house alone. You must have a plan in place, like, with certain people, they finances are a barrier. They can't afford the service of that. So they come up with a system where they're checking in with a friend every day at 12 p.m. like clockwork. So that is their system, and they're allowed to choose that. And the very worst case scenario is like that you would be down for 24 hours on the floor before someone was worried about you. So then you just weigh the pros and cons, like, okay, well, what's the likelihood of me hitting my head and losing consciousness? Okay, do I want to run that risk? And then am I okay with this plan? But even the automatic fall detection, the wearables, they call them, the smartwatches have gotten pretty good right now, but the technology that's used is called an accelerometer, which is, do you guys know when you're looking at your phone and you turn it sideways and it will automatically adjust to the horizontal view? But
yes,
sometimes it doesn't, and you have to
yeah,
go sideways, right? So that is an accelerometer that detects how fast you're moving. So if you just slowly move your phone, it may or may not detect that you're actually moving it as if you whip it over there. So same when you fall, it's detecting how fast you're moving. So, because people use our arms to talk a lot and reach up for things, you might reach up and you're going pretty fast. So they've come out and said that the pendants are a little more accurate than the wrist ones, but now with the technology of smartwatches, if you go that route, I think the smartwatches are a little better than just like a medical alert company. But something is better than nothing, but they don't always go off anyway. So you could have the best plans in place. You could think that you have all your bases covered and you have that fall, and it's still just the plan might not go as planned. So I don't know if that brings peace of mind or makes it feel worse, but it's just really to take off some of the burden of like, you're doing your best. You could have a really solid plan in place, and it might still, not go as you wanted it to. Carol, do you have, just quickly, and then I'll get started here, because do you have any specific rooms of the house that you have concerns about, or are you happy with all your systems? You're happy with your bathroom safety?
I'm good.
Okay. Let me go ahead and share my screen. Okay, do you guys see a little house here?
yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I'm gonna come down and we'll just go through the different types. Carol and Bonnie, do you guys have medical alert systems?
Yes.
My children gave me a Android watch, and it will call the fire department if I don't stop it in 15 seconds.
Okay, and
I
so,
really didn't think I needed that, but they all insisted, so.
okay. And was that an extra service that you pay for, or you just purchase the watch and then you just keep paying your monthly bill?
I purchased the watch and, I went to the fire department and they gave me a number to call. I have not put my little key box on the front door yet, which lets them get in without,
Oh,
but I'm
breaking
gonna
it down.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Okay. So I'm going to touch on the main different types of medical alert systems. So there's an in-home medical alert system versus a mobile medical alert system. So the ones that are recommended for each person are very dependent on your lifestyle. So are you mostly at home all the time and only going out for doctor's appointments, groceries once a week, or are you traveling to Europe and Alaska and you're on the go and you're going to play pickleball and you're walking your dog and you're going over to family's house? Like, it very much depends what your lifestyle is, because some of these are like, Law, you said your house has echo dots everywhere, so you're good in your house, but then what is your plan when you fall, when you're walking your dog and you fall in the middle of the sidewalk, you know? So
Which happened a few weeks ago.
right. So do you have a plan for that instance?
Well, in that instance, I had my phone, so
Okay,
I was sitting on a neighbor's lawn and I just called her, and then another neighbor walked by, so between the two of them,
cool.
they helped me. I wasn't injured. I knew I wasn't hurt, so.
Yeah, carrying your phone, I think, is a really good strategy as long as you remember. And again, you could carry your phone with you 99 times out of 100, and it might be that one time that you fall. But yeah, I have a lot of people who choose that as their plan, is just hoping that they don't lose consciousness and they just keep their phone on them all the time.
Right.
So the in-home medical alert system,
Amber,
what's that?
Amber, I had a friend and she had her phone in her back pocket and she fell and I don't know what she broke, but she couldn't get her hand back to pull it out of the pocket.
Yeah.
It may be better to be sure you have it in front of you
That's a good point.
rather than in the back.
Yeah.
Plus, if you forget it, they do fall into the potty. When you,
Yes. I have lost a phone that way.
yeah, I did too.
Yeah, it really depends on your risk tolerance, and does it give you more peace of mind to have the automatic fall detection that will call them for you, no matter what? Because it's like, any insurance, it's like insurance. You pay for it and you pay for it, you hope you never have to use it, but it gives you peace of mind, and that's why we all buy insurance. So, with the in-home medical alert systems, this is like your classic life alert, where they have a home base and then you have a wearable that will go a certain distance from that home base. You can get additional buttons like other bases if you have a home that's larger than about 1,300 square feet, that can widen the range. With the mobile or on the go systems, these are gonna, like I said, if you're active, this is probably a better option for you. They're usually equipped with GPS where EMS can find you. Smartwatches, they have all of the on the go system features and more. Also, this is not, you got to fact check me on this, but I just think Apple and Android are they are racing to improve technology all the time, that I just really trust that they're going to have like the most current technology that's going to be more accurate. But like I said, fact check me on that. Because it could be just the same technology that literally all the devices are using the same piece of technology. So I would have to look more into that. But So Bluetooth medical alert systems, these are newer. These pair with a smartphone, and some of them can like connect to an app where if you had a caregiver, they can get information through that. The buttons, so this is just like the button versus the station. We already talked about that. Passive remote monitoring, you guys don't need to worry about that, but that would be like, there's sensors that you can put up all around your house now, and if there's a person with dementia living in your home, then it can start to pick up on trends like this is when Sally always goes to the fridge is between like 8:30 and 9:30 a.m. and like this day she didn't do that. So it starts to detect trends. That's a newer technology that's still very much being experimented with. Smart speakers, Alexa, Echoes, those are great. There's a lot of other things with remote controls and smart home technology that I don't even know the half of. It's like a whole industry now that you can have somebody come over and deck your house out with smart technology for everything. Mobile apps, the price considerations are one of the biggest barriers. So you guys can read this. We don't need to go through everything, but some of them do have trial periods. There's some that you can rent versus buy, like a smartwatch, you're gonna buy that, but then you have it forever. And it's not an extra service every month. Except, yeah, it's not an extra service every month. That's just like a built-in feature. So that, even though it might cost more upfront, something like that, and Apple is not the only watch, but at the bottom here, where is it? Caregiver features. Here is where I would recommend, before you decide, this is what I would do. So read reviews. The Senior List and Safewise have very, very good reviews of all the technology, and it's updated, and it's like it's a free, it's not a paid organization. It's a volunteer pro bono type thing. So there's no bias of certain products. Watching reviews on YouTube was also immensely helpful. When I put this together, I learned so much about medical alert systems through these two resources and through YouTube, because people are constantly doing reviews and updating stuff. And then ask around. Okay, Bonnie has an Android watch and she's loving that. So I don't have the capacity to look into this. I'm just going to get myself an Android watch. Like that could be another perfectly great way to choose. And then, yeah, keep in mind that none of them are 100% accurate. And yeah.
Amber, can I ask you a question? You have on there, a hard fall versus soft fall. What's the difference?
Oh, that, so a hard fall would be like, boom, you're down, versus a soft fall, I would think it was like sliding from a chair or bed down to the ground,
Okay.
or say you go to fall and someone like slowly lowers you,
Okay.
then it may not detect if you slide off the bed.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Amber,
Yeah.
the other thing about Android, and I have a good friend that has a smartwatch. My daughter's got a boyfriend who is really smart, and he set mine up. It's smarter than I am. And I don't think I could have done it without his help. And he knew, I mean, it took him a little while to
Yeah.
go through everything. You know what I
Some of those
mean?
are so hard. I was trying to help one of my patients set up a dang Fitbit, which you would think would be really easy. We could not do it for the life. And I was like, I don't know, man, we're gonna have to call in some
Short.
Yeah,
more people. Like, this is crazy.
Yeah, they
So,
really, when they say smart, they really are smart, and you need a smart person to help you.
yeah.
I was gonna mention, Amber, one other thing that works in my favor is because I live in an over 55 community, everybody knows me. So when I'm out walking the dog, which is usually what I'm doing, they even know my dog. So
Yeah.
that's a built-in safety feature just because I live in the same neighborhood and walk the same streets every day.
Yes.
If
That
I don't
is,
show up at the dog park, someone's gonna be texting me. If I don't show up for water aerobics, someone will be texting me, that type of thing.
yeah. I started this really interesting book. I never finished it, but the first 50 pages were great. It was about aging in place. And there were 5 components of what you should consider when you're thinking about aging in place. And it painted this picture of it's so much more than the physical building that you're in. Like, I was thinking of, okay, a home, a townhouse, assisted living, an apartment, a condo. Like, I was kind of limiting it to that, but it's very much all about, is your neighborhood walkable? Are there actually, is like, what's the community like? What's the city like? I live in Orlando, so we have great access to healthcare here. St. Pete also has really good access, and Tampa's just right there if anything crazy were to happen. So it's like, um, yeah, just walkability and the kind of the culture of your neighborhood. So it's awesome that you chose a place that's super active like that, because it really is an extra layer of protection if you're going out and about. Now, if there's somebody in your neighborhood that literally never shows their face, then, a lot of that speaks to you and how active you are, that they know you, so, um, okay, we're going to touch on home safety. So this does relate to accessibility. So if you are thinking about making your home accessible for yourself or for visitors, the 3 areas of the house that you want to prioritize are the entrance to the home, the spaces for self-care activities, which would be the bedroom, bathroom, and the kitchen, and the pathway to access these essential areas. So to make a home accessible, this is kind of how it's defined. You don't need to have every door accessible, every entrance. You just need one entrance in and out of the house. Every bathroom doesn't have to be accessible, just the one that you get ready in, and then getting to and from. The good news that I've learned over the past few years is that a lot of problems can be solved just with durable medical equipment and assistive devices and training, and a lot cheaper options than doing a full remodel, which will cost tens of thousands of dollars a lot of times. So, on page 46, this is your optional homework for whoever would like to. This is the most comprehensive home safety checklist that you will ever find, because I put every question on here I could find from so many different ones. So even some of them are going to be like, this is silly, and some of them you're going to see, oh, I haven't thought about this before. So it's designed in such a way that, so let's say the first one. Is your home an entryway free of stairs, steps, or curbs to enter your home? Yes, then it's designed so that you would answer all the questions, and then whatever you answered no to would be the problem areas. And you can look and see, do I really want to do anything about that? Is the threshold height higher than 1/2 an inch? That's when it starts to, you get your feet caught on it. You get, if you have a walker, you can get that caught on it. So go through this. I'm gonna skim it just to see if there's any. Is the entrance to your home well lit? Lighting is huge, huge, huge. You would have no idea how big of a difference lighting can make. So, with your balance. So if there's a specific area of the house, a certain time of day, there's some people that, walking at night is a lot more difficult than walking during the day. Whether getting up to go to the bathroom or Aunt La, I think even you told me this, like taking your dog out at night is more difficult.
Yeah.
And it just makes sense. So if there was something easy, like an automatic light that, could just be installed that could make you a lot safer very quickly. Lighting has a very quick return for increasing your safety. I would make sure all the rooms inside are well lit too. There's a lot of cool tricks that you can do at your front door entrance, like putting a hook on the wall or setting up a table where you can put your bag, or say you're walking in with groceries, you can put like a bench next to your door so that you can set groceries on there so that you can have better access and balance to unlock your door and go in. So there's a lot of really cool safety techniques and energy conservation techniques so that especially around the front door, like when you're coming in and when you're going out. So have any of you set up little stations by your front door at all?
Yes.
I actually do. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead, Aunt Law.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I do have that set up. I also have, I hate to keep, I swear I don't work for Amazon and try to sell Echo Dots, but I also have the smart plugs. And so in each room, I can be in my bed and turn a light on in a different room. So like when I walk in my front door, if I have forgotten to turn lights on, I can say, Alexa, turn on lamp 2, or Alexa, turn on the family room light. If I'm at my sister's house, I can do it on my phone because it's all, excuse me. It's answering me now. So,
Yeah.
Alexa, cancel the request. That's the downside, but it sure is nice. I get all the way in bed and I go, oh shoot, I forgot to turn the living room light off or whatever. I don't have to get back up. And
Well-
when I was in a wheelchair, and I'm gonna have knee replacement surgery not too far down the road here. It's really helpful. It's just so helpful to know that unless the power goes out, which would be anybody would have to deal with flashlights in that case, so.
Do you turn the light on in the middle of the night if you have to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night?
I have really good night lights, so I don't need to, but sometimes I do. Yeah, just if I'm super tired and feel like I need to be more awake or something.
Okay. Cool. All right. So the other area is stairs and steps. Bonnie, I know that was one of your concerns, is catching your foot coming up the step. If that's right now, if that's just an awareness thing, and if you're consciously focused on the task, you can do it, then great. But if it ever comes to the point where like you need a handle or something, then we could think about that. But if it's really just like oh, I was moving a little too fast and my mind was somewhere else, then yeah, we kind of know what to do there. So stairs and steps. I don't think yeah, Carol, you might want to look at that area. Then it goes into flooring and the kitchen and dining room and living room area, bedrooms, bathrooms, the laundry room, telephones, storage space, windows, electrical outlets and controls. These are kind of the random ones you think about less: heat, light, ventilation, smoke, carbon monoxide, water temperature control. And then other, like, do you have your emergency numbers easy to access? Do you have access to a telephone if you fall? So stuff like that. Can you easily see the on and off position? So a lot of these are taken from a concept called universal design. So they're taking into universal design is not just for older adults, it's that is a feature usable by every age, every physical level. So for example, back in the day, we all had light switches, and now we have the rocker light switch. So a rocker light switch is easier to use because the old school way, it required your fingers to pinch it and turn it up most of the time. Now, there are other ways that you could use it, but the rocker light switch is easy because say that somebody has no fingers, say they had an amputation of most of their hand and had no fingers left, they could punch it with the back of their wrist. They could hit it with their elbow. They could, you know, you could hit it with your forehead. Like there's so many ways that you could turn on a rocker light switch. Same with faucets nowadays, really just have the levers rather than the knobs. Same with door handles. They're mostly with levers now because they're just easier to open. So with these concepts, they do bring in vision a lot, and so that's why it's saying, can you easily see the on and off positions there? So 46 to 49 is your homework, if you so choose. If you want to walk around your house, it should take you no more than 10 minutes. And just see if there's any concerns, bring them next week. Then you can look to the next pages, 50 and 51 are a lot of really good solutions that incorporate these universal design principles that I was just talking about. So a lot of places that you would think, or what am I trying to say? A lot of people, their tendency is to say, oh, is that ADA compliant? Well, a lot of times ADA is the bare minimum and is not truly accessible. Like people still have a great deal of difficulty accessing some of those things. So universal design is a little bit broader. I would say that it is just like a better standard to go by. So, and it incorporates things I would not have thought about, like color contrast. That can be a big game changer. Throw rugs, I'm really not a fan of throw rugs. And if you catch your foot frequently, physical therapists don't really like throw rugs. So if you can stand it, if you need the extra safety, then that's a good thing to consider, and making sure that they're not, some of the throw rugs have become really, really thick. So go through that. The home safety checklist and the page 50 and 51, the solutions kind of go hand in hand together. So you can look through that too. So this is a really good topic to think about. Safety and energy conservation. I'm sure some of you in certain phases of your life have already thought quite a bit about this, like when you're injured, or our bodies are just very wise and find out they just create more efficient, easier ways to do things without having to, read about it and learn about it. So our bodies are great that way. But the 4 P's of energy conservation are planning, pacing, prioritizing, and positioning. So as you go through your morning routine, I'm guessing that, well, let me just ask. Do any of you need to like take naps or take strategic, like, oh, I know I'm good for 2 hours and I'm going to take a break and then I'll go for 2 more hours, I'll take another break, and then are you pacing yourself throughout the day already?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Bonnie? Carol?
Sometimes, depends.
Sometimes I do that too. Depends on what I've done.
Okay, so just keep an open mind here. I don't want to assume make any assumptions. So things that can save some energy are that you do the same activity but sitting down. So gathering your clothing and then you sit down while you're getting dressed. Doing your laundry, taking the clothes in and out while sitting down. You could put them on something and roll it across your house instead of carrying it across your house. Folding, ironing while sitting, preparing your food and veggies, cooking while sitting, brushing your teeth while sitting, showering while sitting. So that can save a lot of energy, especially, I don't know, if you have a big night or, you know, whatever, a big weekend coming up, you might just use it in certain one-off cases like that. Seated and standing rest breaks are one of my favorite ways. So you can make sure that you have chairs every 20 to 30 feet around your house that you always have, or in problem areas that you know you get fatigued easily, so that you don't have to go too far to get to a chair. Yeah, getting a rollator that you can park the walker and sit down for a break. I'll touch more on the rollators later and the pros and cons. I think they're a bit overrated and misunderstood, but they're really, really great for certain people. Standing rest breaks can do wonders if you're just walking and you stop for a second. And it doesn't matter how many times you stop, but your legs do kind of get some energy back. So standing rest breaks are my favorite. Moving slowly, this one is the worst one for me. I don't know when life is going to teach me this the hard way, but the tortoise and the hare marathon versus a sprint principle, really, really, if you just would move slower throughout the day, you would save a lot of energy. So that's a big, big bang for your buck. Not waiting until you have to go to the bathroom urgently. That's more of a safety thing. So planning, asking for help. It sounds like you guys are pretty good at that, asking for help when you know you need it. Putting the items you use in easy to reach places. Plan your most energy requiring tasks during your peak energy times. Some people are better in the morning, some midday, some night. So whatever works for you. Alternate physically demanding tasks with less demanding tasks. Take a break earlier rather than later before you reach your maximum exhaustion point. Staying hydrated and well nourished so that your electrolytes and blood sugar stay in balance. Planning naps. Naps are like even I've gone through a couple different places I worked where it was really easy for me to take a nap. So I tried to get into taking cat naps at lunch. So naps are good for all ages. It's really healthy for the brain to just have that little bit of downtime to repair. Getting dressed, you can look through these. Again, we're talking about sitting down. There's dressing aids if you say you lose shoulder mobility. But this is a really great one, buying clothes that don't require ironing. You just take out the task altogether. Things with elastics, you know, buying clothes that is a little bit looser so you're not like struggling to pull on your pants. With the bathroom, there's lots of sponges on sticks and shower organizers that bring everything up to your reaching level so you're not bending over. So some of these are for safety too. You know, you could have one of the little things on the units on the wall that have all your shampoo, conditioner, everything in it. So you're just pressing a button instead of bending over. So you can really get creative with energy conservation. Let's see, planning showers around the when you have the most energy. Kitchen. Okay. Cooking a large meal and freezing half. And this has been one of my I do this to save energy actually, is cooking in bulk because I just cook for myself. And then I'll have like 4 or 5 meals that I can freeze. And it's just so nice because if I alternate it right, once I get in the flow, then I don't have to go 5 days in a row eating the same meal. I can pull out other freezer meals. So, but then I still know it's homemade. So that's really cool. Making your grocery list by aisle, if you always go to the same grocery store, so you can save some energy there. Curbside delivery groceries, pre-made meals, housework and chores, scheduling different things on different days, asking for help, paying for assistance, dragging and sliding things instead of lifting them. We did that with couches on rugs. Using your legs and you're bending from the knees and hips rather than your back, and then using a rolling cart or a tray table or a dolly to move heavy things. Childcare, this can come in with like if any of you visit with grandkids and things that you can do with them. Mental fatigue is a big one. I'm sure we've all experienced when our mental fatigue results in us being literally physically weaker. So, yeah, planning. I'm a big fan of calendars and just being able to see your whole month. I've started even planning at a more macro level. So not only can you do it just for a week of making sure your stuff is spaced out over the week, but okay, if I look at November, I know I'm going out of town twice, and that's like pushing the limit for me. If I go out of town 3 times in a month, that's way too much for me. So you can kind of see at a bird's eye view and make sure you're never overcommitting yourself there. I like to recommend that everyone keep a list of doctors with their specialties, like this is the cardiologist, this is the dermatologist, all their phone numbers. You can keep addresses if you want, whatever, any healthcare providers, but any type of information that you're just accessing all the time, might as well have a list that's easy to grab instead of having to look it up every single time. And then as you do go through, sometimes it's seasons and sometimes it's long term where something's happening in your body that's different and you're going to testing and you're in the middle of a diagnostic process, and you might be talking to more providers than you usually do. And I just see a lot of people that can't keep their doctors straight. They're seeing so many people, and so having it kind of all together in one. And along with that, I recommend everyone have a medical notebook at some point. I mean, it would even be good for me to have one because you can only remember so much. And normally you go to the doctor and you're overwhelmed, you're trying to, you feel like they're moving fast, then you start talking fast and you get out of there and you haven't even asked the questions that you wanted to ask. So I always make, when I go to my own doctor's appointments, if it's something where I really have questions, I write down the questions before I go. And so the medical notebook kind of keeps everything organized. It's also surprisingly difficult to get your own medical records. So it's just kind of an extra way to make sure that you support yourself when you're going to the doctors that can already, normally no one wants to go to the doctor. We are glad that we have them, but it can just be a little stressful. So I like that one a lot. Asking friends and family for help. You can ask friends and family to go with you to doctor's appointments if that feels like it is going to be mentally distracting and you need that support. Setting boundaries, this is a big one. Saying no to tasks that aren't in your best interest can immediately give you energy. And a lot of times it's like you're perceived. I can be so stressed out about something and it's really all pressure that I'm putting on myself. Nobody else is putting pressure on myself. So take a look at those, and where are you pressuring yourself can give you back a lot of mental energy. This is cognitive load. I forgot to go back and take some of this out. Some of it's just kind of like you don't really need to know this, but it's just thinking about the complexity of the task, and are you multitasking? That increases the complexity of the task. So decreasing distractions can help. So any questions on energy conservation? Do you feel like you guys need any of these, or some of them kind of like not yet, but maybe down the line?
I'm a notorious list maker, and I go to the doctor, and my husband was in a wheelchair for 20 years, so I always had lists, and the both of us were there. And even after he passed, I'd go, and my doctor was so cute, he'd say, "Do you want to go first, or do you want me to?" Because I always had questions, and I said, "Well, you are the doctor, why don't you go first?"
Oh,
But that, and I can have several older ladies I go to the doctor with, they want me in the room with them, because I make notes, you know.
that's awesome. That's awesome. That's so good. Cool. Okay, going
I have a lot of equipment. I mean, I've been disabled for over 40 years, so I've
Okay.
accumulated a lot of stuff over 40 years.
I could let you teach this chapter then.
Yeah,
You know,
Well,
whether it's canes, walkers, rollators, the tri-walkers, uh, you know, I like my little tri-walker.
those
Uh,
are good. I'm a fan of those.
it's,
They're a lot
it's,
more portable.
yeah, gets me in and out of small spaces. And
So
I often don't need to sit, so, you
yeah,
know, so that's, if people need to sit, then of course it's not gonna work
yeah,
although they do make some now that you can sit on. But then you can't squeeze them like an accordion to get
yeah,
through the tight
yeah.
spaces.
They all have pros and cons. It really depends what you're
Personal
using it
needs.
for. And then I will often recommend a different device inside versus outside the home versus like they might even have something I recommend different when you're going out into the community versus just in your backyard. So depending on the setting, it can be different. My favorite, if you're needing a cane or just like a tiny little bit of stability, my favorite is a walking stick because the action that you're pushing, the direction that you're pushing, it just puts you in a little better upright posture. There's a tendency with walkers and canes and this type of grip rather than this type of grip where our body just subconsciously tends to want to lean down.
Mhm.
Even if it's sized properly to your body. So if you haven't tried a walking stick and you ever need just a little touch of support, those can be great. The Big Alex is a brand name. The Hurricane is a brand name that has the little bit wider base that's supposed to be able to stand up in the middle of nowhere, like just stand up. They're hit or miss. A lot of my patients with those still end up having to lean the cane against something for support sometimes, but theoretically, great idea. It's great when it works. A front-wheeled walker is just like the standard metal walker. The one I really want to touch on is the four-wheeled walker. So why I think the misconception is with this is that a lot of people would get this for balance, but if you have balance issues, it's really not the best. The instance I recommend a lot for rollators is if you just need, yay, love your walking stick, and it's even homemade.
My uncle carved it.
You carved it?
My uncle,
Oh, your uncle. Cool.
and it's got all beautiful little carvings in it.
Oh, I have an uncle that makes walking sticks too.
He's deceased now, so it's
pretty.
a nice thing
Cool.
to have.
So those are gonna be heavier. I actually almost a few years ago when I was trying to decide which way to go with my business, I almost wanted to start a business making walking sticks that were beautiful and wooden. But the downside is they're heavier. So they don't work for everyone, and it's not great if you already have balance issues. The metal like ones that you get for trekking and hiking, super easy. They're super cheap off Amazon now, and they're super lightweight. So back to the four-wheeled walker, I really like those for people that just get tired or they're going very long distance, Walmart, Disney World, going to a park and you don't want to feel rushed. A lot of people tend to, if a certain park or a path doesn't have enough benches, they'll feel very insecure and they'll limit themselves like, oh, I can only go there and then I have to turn around at that mailbox because I can't go any farther. And I just love the four-wheeler because you have a portable chair with you. So it's so unfortunate, but we all have our hangups. Like I've recommended a four-wheeler for this context so many times, but people don't want to be seen with a walker.
Mm.
So they don't want to look like they need a walker. And I try to explain, I'm not even recommending a walker for your balance. I'm recommending a walker to improve your quality of life so that you can go on a long walk and sit down. It has a little basket. You can bring water. You could bring a snack if you want. Go sit out by the lake and just sit out there. But people tend to just have a resistance to, oh, I'm too young or my balance is good enough. I don't need that yet. I don't want to get that. So yeah, I tend to recommend these more for energy conservation and that instead of for people with balance issues. There's some other ones. Yeah, standard manual wheelchair, lightweight motorized wheelchair for inside the home. They make them very small. You can fold them up. You got to be careful when you're taking turns that you don't turn too fast because they can be a little more tippy, the smaller they are, but those are still great. I do recommend if you're going to purchase any of these things, I mean, I guess a cane, maybe not. And you can see a lot of stuff on YouTube. The main thing is that it's fit to your height and that you're not using it too short or too tall. And then that you get trained if it is like a motorized chair or a four-wheel walker, there's a tendency to walk way far away from the walker. So then you get hunched over very quickly. So I do a training exercise with everyone where I literally ask them, I want you to stand so close to it that you're bumping up against the chair with your knees. And then I just want you to take it. And so we'll get in a pattern and they'll walk like 10 or 20 steps, bumping their knees, and then we'll just move the walker like half an inch forward from there and keep your same pace because our brains think that we're going to bump into the walker seat. And so we just automatically overcorrect and we're walking like 3 feet back from the walker and we're way hunched over. And so yeah. Carol, did you have a question?
I have a comment for the person that doesn't want to be seen with the walker.
Oh, go ahead.
I
There's
got comments too.
there's a pop-up seat that collapses and
Oh,
almost looks like a canteen type thing. I have one in my closet upstairs.
yes.
I took one to Europe with me.
Is it triangular?
No, it's round.
Okay.
Well, I had a square one and that broke, and I have a round one.
Okay. I'll have to look.
And it squishes down to 2 inches height. And it's round, about 8 inches or 10 inches maybe. And it's got a strap that you can hold.
Okay.
You
Is
can
it
put-
tippy when you sit on it?
It's not bad, not
It's
bad
not
at
bad.
all.
Okay, I'll have to look into that.
And it just pops up and it's, I took it to Europe.
Cool,
and,
thanks. I'll look into that.
You can throw it in a backpack. It wasn't heavy. It's plastic.
Okay,
And
cool.
so for
And it's
those,
high enough?
yeah, it's like
It's
19 inches.
19 inches. Okay. That's good.
And right now it's sitting in my closet because I have a safe in my closet that in order for me to dial in the numbers, I need to sit on something.
Cool.
So,
Cool.
yeah.
Claude, did you say you have any comments too?
Well, just that, the whole being self-conscious about using, a cane or a walker or anything.
Yeah, well,
You know, once you've had a serious injury, which I'm sure the other participants would agree, you kind of get over that stuff pretty quick.
Yeah.
You have
I've
to.
been, I've been over it since I'm very young.
There, I was gonna say,
Yeah.
you've been dealing with it for 40 years, you said, so I can only imagine. Yeah, I mean, I was just so thrilled to be able to use a walker to get somewhere or use a wheelchair to get somewhere
Absolutely.
Yeah, I
compared
know,
to
right?
not being able to move at all, so.
You
Yeah.
got that right. Who cares?
Huh, that's a good point. I may have to, I'm trying to think of the people that,
Well, I can see if you're younger. I can see if I was 47 and suddenly I had to start using a walker, that could be, I could see how that would be awkward.
Yeah, I had to stop work in my late 30s.
Yeah, that must have been rough.
And but my first hospitalization with my spine, I was 17.
Oh, wow.
So I've been
wow,
dealing with it all my life.
Your whole life, yeah.
wow.
But and I don't care. And I had a friend who was 33 years older than me. And when she turned 90 and got Alzheimer's, and I said to her daughter, she she can't live home alone anymore. And her daughter was like, "Oh well, she's gonna have to go in a home. I have to work." And I said, "Well, she's not going in a home." So she came and lived with me for 6 years. And she did 90 years old. She did not want to use a walker or a cane. She wanted to use me. And of course, I need a walker and whatnot. And I'm like, Chris, you need to get over this. You're 90. And I've been using assistive devices how many years? And you just can't you keep using me. But
Well, that's a good point that you make, though. There might be a difference if you have a serious injury versus someone who maybe they had an elective surgery like a knee replacement, but they've never had an injury or a disease that required, you know, more medical attention, assistive devices, and that pride will get you.
it'll
Right.
get you, it'll bite you.
So you guys can look through the rest of these, just skimming some of the ones that I really like. A shoehorn, that can be really good.
Big one.
Reachers and grabbers, a really long-handled shoehorn, yep.
I have a little one that I keep right next to my chair. I've one
Nice.
in every room.
Yep, those are great. Now they have really cool shoes that just are much better slip-ons that you don't actually have to use your hands. So
But do they
Is it?
really stay secure? Like I can't stand it if my sneakers are slipping. I have to feel like my shoe is really on securely.
I have
yeah,
I
I think
have a-
probably everyone has a different tolerance for that. So the patients that I've had that have used the Skechers slip-ons liked them, but you would have to personally go try and see because yeah,
Okay.
it's very individual. The other brand that I recommend is Kizik, Kizik,
Okay.
for slip-ons that you know, with my sneakers, with traditional sneakers, if you were to slide your foot in, it's gonna smash the heel down, but these, the back is somehow, it's hard enough that it doesn't do that, but it doesn't hurt. So
Good.
yeah. Carol, were you gonna say something also?
I was just gonna say I thought I had them on, but I don't. I have a pair of shoes that they're not exactly slip-ons, but they have a Velcro top
Mm.
Okay,
that just goes over, so you can make it as loose or as tight as you want.
yeah, cool.
And they're wonderful.
Cool.
a matter of fact, recently I've needed to put a little brace on my right ankle that, a lot of shoes and don't want to accommodate that, and that
Yes.
can make it as loose or as tight,
Yes.
so,
Again,
that's been,
everyone has different needs, so yeah, if someone has a lot of swelling or issues like that where you need to be able to expand and contract your shoes, then something adjustable is better. Toilet rails, I like the rails that bolt into the toilet bowl, but there are standalone safety rails that just hover over the seat. These, I actually have started to like these toilet rails better than grab bars. And the reason is, I think we touched on this one of the last exercise classes, but as we age, for some reason, we lose our strength to push up from a chair much faster than we do to pull up from a chair. So we lose our pushing strength much faster than we lose our pulling strength. So
Huh.
I do like to, even though I'm telling you guys stand up without using your hands at all, if you do have a low toilet, I would rather that you maintain the pushing strength than use a grab bar, because most people will retain the ability to grip and pull to some extent forever. But pushing is just, it doesn't come as natural. So I like those. Raised toilet seats are also great. Raised toilet cement blocks are also great, or plastic blocks, whatever it was that you had, Carol.
my toilevator,
Your toilevator.
toilevator,
I'll have to add that to the page.
like an elevator, only it's a toilevator.
That's so great.
I'll tell you what, if you have to, when I evacuated, I stayed with my sister, another sister, and she's got the older toilets. Oh my gosh.
What a difference.
Trying to
they
get up
low?
off if you feel like you're sitting on the floor.
What a
But what
difference.
good exercise for the legs. By the end of the 5th day, I was going, oh, okay. I guess I could do this.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's funny. That's great.
and those stick-on grab bars, the
Yeah.
suction cup ones?
Section.
I recently ordered something that's totally different. They're round, just one round thing, and it snaps together. So it's one round thing, and I ordered 2 of them.
Like a
uh,
ring?
It's
that you
it's
grab?
round circle, and
Okay.
then it
That's
had
suction?
it's a suction cup, one suction cup.
Okay.
So it fits in between the 4-inch the 4-inch tiles.
Okay.
Sometimes with the 2 things, they fall across the crack,
Yes.
and
This is why I don't like suction cup
and
grab
they don't
bars.
work. So this one fits within the tile. And I just ordered them, and they're really great, and they stick on just about anything. I've tried it on lots of surfaces.
So if you're going to use those, the one thing I recommend is that you always do a little test before
Oh
you
yeah.
grab and put your weight on it.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Every time?
Every time,
Okay.
religiously.
Good. Good. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
And I
okay.
even use one of those on my sliding glass door to get in the house, because
Okay.
the little tiny thing they give you, that I don't have the strength
Yeah.
for the little hole they give you to open the door. So I have one of those
To
on my
open the door.
sliding door. Gives me a
Cool.
big grip thing.
Yeah. That's
So-
really creative. I mean, it is so great, all the innovations that people are just so creative, and especially with technology advancing. And you were sharing some of your other inventions in your bed, like
I
for
have a lot of
mobility.
low tech things.
So I'm not against suction. It's that a lot of people have fallen with suction
Oh yeah.
grab bars,
Yeah, if you
doing the
if you
test,
put
and then they
faith in
dry
it.
out, and yeah. So that's cool. Here's some more for the shower and the toilet. If or when that becomes problem areas, or if you want to just be proactive and really set yourself up for success, and not have to worry about it. Like another factor that goes into aging in place and, oh, should I buy this $100 thing or should I, hire a handyman and get the $500 installation or whatever, is like, are you in your forever home or are you in a home that you see yourself staying in for 3 to 5 years? And then do you see yourself possibly or probably needing that thing in 3 to 5 years? Well, it might be wiser for the long term, like to get an upgrade in your house that you might not really need. It might be a little early, but you probably will need it in the near future. Then it's like you might as well, near future being 3 to 5 years. If you plan on being in the same house, it might be a worthwhile investment to go for the safer or like the longer lasting option. What
I'm
else?
thinking of upgrading to one of those walk-in tub things, sit-down tub things.
Those are cool.
I haven't been able to use my bathtub
Yeah.
for, I couldn't tell you how many years. I have a shower seat across it, and it's getting increasingly harder and harder to get my legs up and into the bathtub.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
And and the only time I ever get to soak in the water is if I go to the gym now with the seat
Yeah.
that puts me in and out of the water.
Yeah, well,
So
that's what I was thinking, like for hot tub people, is that becomes really difficult. Like that's such a good solution for that. I love those.
yeah, I'm just recently thinking about upgrading to that.
Cool.
Yeah.
Just a couple more here. There's little devices that you can put in the latch of your car if getting out of a low car is difficult. And there's little things, there's actually several contraptions now that you can use around your couch if getting off the couch is difficult. I had a patient try a couple, really depends on you and your strengths and weaknesses in your body, and your couch. Cause like some of them sit on the cushions, some of them shove under the cushions, some shove under the entire couch. So it depends on your specific situation, but lots of goodies out there for that.
Hmm.
Technology, they have combined hearing aids that are also earbuds, like for your phone, so you can just talk through that. Smart locks, smart plugs. Again, these all go into energy conservation. The camera doorbell, all the Alexa, Google Home,
Mhm.
Echo Dot. I had one patient use it as he needed to take his blood pressure every day. So I think it was at 4 p.m. every day. It would come on and say, "It is now time to take your blood pressure." Um, Voice activated music and lights, and then smart home technology. So, all that to say, a huge way that you can decrease your fall risk is to set up your environment to support you. So if you know that something is a problem area, just talk to me or get creative like Carol and um, search online. There's so many inventions and more coming out every day that can make your lives easier. So yeah. Any questions on home safety?
Just a tip for anybody else that's as short as me and losing height yearly. With my shower seat going across the tub, I can't reach the towel rack. So you know those plant hangers? I hang a plant hanger off my shower rod and I hang my towel off of that because it
Nice.
hangs low. And I put a little piece of masking tape on the point so I don't have holes poking through my towels. And
Cool.
I have two at various heights. Because one towel is for hair and one towel is for body, and
Love it. Yeah.
so, yeah, so that, because I can't reach the stupid towel rack because I'm too short. So,
Yep. So that's
so I've used my plant hangers.
nice. I love it.
So, yeah, you just learn to be creative after so many years.
Yeah, for sure.
Do what works.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for being here. I will see you Thursday. We're going to be on a similar topic. We're going to do different things than last week. Last week we did strengthening exercises specifically for getting stronger with getting up from the floor. So we're going to be on a similar theme of floor work for a couple weeks. So we'll be talking about getting up from the floor. Is anyone here not happy with the way that they stand up from the ground? Oh, I can't hear you.
From the ground? Meaning,
Is anyone unhappy with their method of standing up from the ground after a fall?
Only that, I can't do it.
I can only do it if there's a chair or something
Oh,
nearby.
well, that's true. Yeah, I can do it if there's something I can climb up on.
If there's-
So-
There's something I can get my arms on and pull myself up. If there's nothing there, then I can't get up.
Okay. But if there is support, you're happy with the way that you get up there?
If there's a chair or something, then I can haul myself up. If there's nothing there, I can't get up.
Okay. Okay. So I think this Thursday we're going to go over different ways to get up from the ground, and we'll go over some more strengthening exercises that will make it even easier to stand up from the ground. And then next week we will start talking about how to fall and mechanics of tucking and rolling and little exercises that you can do to try to train yourself to get less injured or not injured at all, hopefully, if you do fall, like the tuck and roll, that kind of stuff. So this week, come with your sneakers on. It's always easier to do floor work with sneakers. We're probably, this is, do it at your own risk. So there might be some takers that want to try some of these methods, and then there might be people that want to sit back and watch, or you guys can all observe and see if this is something you want to do down the line. So just, there's zero pressure ever to do any of it. I know floor work can be a little tough, and this is my first time teaching floor work where I'm not right there with my hands on you. So it's like, please be safe first and foremost. So all right, guys, have a great evening, and you know how to reach me if you need anything.
All right, bye-bye.
Thursday.
Thank you.
Yep,
Thank
you're
you.
welcome. Bye.
Okay,
Bye.
toodaloo.